we're up and running here. Alrighty, well, welcome back. Back again with some more Pokemon Run and Bun. Coming off the heels of claiming the 6th gym badge, beating Winona. That was a really fun stream, being able to take out every single gym trainer, including Winona, all in one stream. That was huge. Feel really good about it. That was a lot of fun. And now, this is my second furthest attempt. Second time getting to Tate and Liza split, which is the longest and probably hardest section of the game. Today we're just going to be starting off doing the first few battles. Not going to do too much for today, I just wanted to get it started. But I also wanted to show that I did get some new encounters. So after I beat Winona, I had access to a few. A couple really important ones. The Route 123 and the Scorched Slab encounters are some big ones, because in the Scorched Slab you get, well, in both of them you get your chances at getting a Golisopod, which is probably the best utility Pokemon in the game because of Emergency Exit. And then on 123 in the grass, you get a chance at a Sneasler, which is also one of the best attackers in the game. And with my routing, I had pretty good chances of getting both. I had a 60% chance of, no, 2/3 chance of getting Golisopod and a 37% chance at a Sneasler. What's up, Jack? How's it going? I'm playing a ROM hack of Emeralds called Pokemon Run&Bun. Makes the game incredibly difficult. But yeah, I rolled those encounters, and I was fortunate to land both of them. So I got this Golisopod here with some pretty gnarly IVs on it. Minus attack is a bit unfortunate, but the high defense, high HP is pretty good. So big fan of that. What's up, Heather? How's it going? Thanks for popping in. Hope you're doing alright today. So we got that, and then the big win was I did get the Sneasler. Not only that, but I got a hasty one. Which that's pretty nuts. Because this thing has base 120 speed and base 130 attack. This thing's a beast. It came with 9 attack and 0 speed, so I ended up using a couple heart scales to max those IVs, because I think I'm gonna be using this quite a bit. So my first time getting one, pretty much everyone says it's a top 5 Pokemon in the game, so very, very fortunate. And then the only other thing was you get a guaranteed Kecleon, which I got this guy here, which has a protein ability, which is pretty handy, but unfortunately mine's minimum Spadef, which is a little unfortunate because this guy does have good Spadef, but it is what it is. I'll gladly take that for the 2 encounters that I got, so and yeah, so that's where we're at now. This run is looking pretty fantastic at this point. Still only do 2 deaths, which I'm still still surprised by. But yeah, so right now, at this point of the game, we have to move down through the routes to make it to Lily Cove City, and there's a bunch of trainers along the way. The first few are in rain, so ideally I'd like to get those ones done. So I already have the first trainer planned out, and I get to show off my 2 new encounters here, which is pretty nice. So yeah, why don't we go ahead and take on the first trainer here. I could show off how good these guys are. So, first trainer's over here, and it is in the rain, so let me go in and save. And let me take a look at the notes again. My notes for this fight. Yeah, I think we're looking good here. We'll check my items here. Top sand, person. None. And make sure HP is at 99. Alright. Looks good. Let's go ahead and do this fight here. Alright, Birdkeeper calling. Alright, so he leads an Aerodactyl here, which has a little bit of an annoying moveset because it does have Swagger, and it has a Nerve, which means you can't prevent confusion with a Person Berry, and it has Substitute, holding a Pasho Berry. But right now my Electrode is free damage, so that Aerodactyl sees that it can KO with Stone Edge. And I do outspeed, so I'm going to Volt Switch to deal some damage as I switch out. And then I'm going to swap to my Seismitoad to take the incoming Stone Edge. And there we go. And my Seismitoad has Swift Swim, so in the rain it outspeeds, and I can now KO this Aerodactyl through its Pasho Berry. Alright, and this should always bring in Charizard next. And this Charizard is also a little scary because it's got counter with a focus sash, which it wants to use to KO any physical attackers. So it's either going to use counter or it's going to go for most likely Hurricane if it does attack, sometimes Weather Ball. We are going to swap to my my Kangaskhan, first time ever coming out in a fight. Ideally, it goes for a counter here. Alright, Hurricane. That's fine. I was holding a person in case it confused. But now, I can go in and Fake Out to break the Focus Sash. Alright. And now again, Charizard's either going to use Hurricane or Weather Ball, or use Counter. All three of which are perfectly fine for me to swap to my Basque Legion. Alright, so it's Hurricane again. Alright, got the crit. Counted for that. Alright, and now, with this Focus Sash broken, we can outspeed and one-shot with Liquidation. Alright. So Charizard goes down. This just leaves a Empoleon. And this Empoleon can... doesn't do that much damage. Has Sword Stance, but I can't use it because my Basque Legion shows that it outspeeds and two-shots it. So I could technically use my Basque Legion on this guy, but I wanted to show off my new encounter. So right now it's either going to go for Drill Peck or Aqua Jet. So I'm going to swap to my Golisopod, who's pre-damaged for whatever attack, to always bring me into emergency exit range. And the reason why this ability is so broken in this game is that it basically gives you a free switch to whatever Pokemon you want. So I'm going to swap it in to whatever move it goes for. Alright, so there's a Drill Peck. Perfectly fine. And we get emergency exited. And now I can safely bring my Sneasler in for free. Alright. And... I can now just simply one-shot this guy with close combat. It does have Aqua Jet with a Water Gem, but even a crit won't KO me. So we'll take the Aqua Jet, and then CC will KO this guy. Alright, and there we go. Good start to the split here. Programmer Official, what's up, bro? How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing alright today. Alright, so that is the first of many, many, many fights on this split. This is the longest split in the game because you have to deal with all the Team Aqua and Magma shenanigans. And they have a bunch of very scary gimmicky things, but we'll worry about that once we get there. Alright, so let's take a look at the next trainer here. Full Trainer Gian. Pacer Stink. Funny name. How's it going, bro? How are you doing? Hope you're doing alright. This is a ROM hack of Pokemon Emerald called Run&Bun. It's considered one of the hardest ROM hacks of any Pokemon game. And I'm doing a hardcore Nuzlocke of it currently. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. Let's take a look at the calcs for the next fight here. This one is also still in the rain. I think for this one, I kind of already looked at it a little bit. Let's see. For the Drifloon, I could lead Arcanine to one-shot with Rock Slide. And I can pre-damage to bait a fast KO from Alakazam into my Muck, which I can teach Embargo to deal with the Focus Sash. Yeah, and that'll bring Swampert out, which I could use Golisopod to get Roserade in to KO with Leaf Storm. Which would bait Duraludon or Heavy Slam, which then I could just go to Sneasler and take out both the Duraludon and then the Alcremie. Alright, so yeah, so this seems pretty straightforward here. So let's get Arcanine. We're still gonna use Golisopod and Sneasler, but we need Muck, and we need Roserade. Corviknight so I could fly. Alright, so I need to go to the Embargo tutor. Let me see. Where is it at? Let's go over here. Let's speed up real quick. Embargo to Muck. So teach that over Poison Jab because we could always reteach that. Alright. Cool. Alright, so now I need for items, I need the Heartstone for Arcanine. We need Personberry for Muck in case of Signal Beam confusions. Do I need any other items than that? I don't think so. No, it doesn't look like. Yeah, so then I just need a pre-damage. Let's see, Arcanine to be at 109. Bait, Alakazam. Swap to Muck to deal with it. In case he only goes for counters, I should pre-damage Muck to be at 240. Damage Golisopod to take either Flip Turn or Earthquake. I mean Liquidation or Earthquake. Such a brain damage to 207. Alright, so 102 plus minimum Earthquake is 32. So 134. Should be it. And there's no priority or anything I need to worry about. This looks good. Alright. Let's go ahead and do this next fight here. This fight is still in the rain, so we'll have to account for that. Did that one. Next one. Oh, right there. This one and save. Alright, so make sure I got everything. Cool. Alright, let's go and do this here. Alright, Cool Trainer Gian. Alright, so we got Driftbum lead that has Explosion and Aftermath. But Aftermath only deals damage if you KO with a contact move. So instead, with my Arcanine, I can outspeed and one-shot with Rock Slide. which will not activate because it's not a contact move. Alright. And then I'm pre-damaged to always bait Alakazam next. Perfect. And this Alakazam sees a guaranteed KO with Psychic. So that allows me to perfectly swap into my Alolan Muck here. Perfect. And this thing can be annoying because it's got a Focus Action counter with Inner Focus, so you can't flinch it. But using a tutor, I can use Embargo on my Muck to deactivate its Focus Sash, and then be able to one-shot it without worrying about counter on the next turn. Ideally, I see it only go for counters here, and not going for attacking moves. But even if it does, it should be fine. So go for Embargo. Yeah, I think it went for counter. Yep, perfect. Zigzy, how's it going, bro? Thanks for topping in. Yeah, this is a Alolan Muck. That's why it looks all colorful like that. So now that the Focus Sash is not activated, I can now just one-shot it with Knockoff. Alright. And Alakazam goes down. This will always bring in a Swampert next. Perfect. And this thing does have Stealth Rocks, but right now it outspeeds and sees I could always one-shot me with Earthquake, I believe. Yeah. Sometimes the Liquidation as well. So because it sees a fast kill, it won't use Stealth Rocks. So I'm going to swap to my Golisopod to take that hit to emergency exit into my Roserade. Yep, there's an Earthquake. Emergency exit. Get to freely swap into Roserade here without taking damage. Alrighty, and even with a Rindo Berry, Leaf Storm will always one-shot this thing. Alright. Oh, critical hit even. Not necessary, but still pretty cool. Alright, so Swampert goes down. This should always bring in Duraludon next. Perfect. And Duraludon here sees its highest damaging move on my Roserade being Heavy Slam, which my Sneasler can take pretty well, so I'm going to swap into that. So Heavy Slam. Tessa, Milton Gomez, what's up, you guys? Thanks for tuning in. It is a Game Boy game, but I'm not playing it on a Game Boy. Alright, so now my Sneasler just outspeeds and one-shots with close combat. Hey, what's up, Chris? Good to see you again. Thanks for stopping back in. Good to have you. Hope you're doing alright. Alright, so Drowdon goes down. This just leaves out Creamy. And this thing also just gets one shot by Poison Jab. Alrighty. Sneeze are already showing its worth. Alright, cool. So let's got another fight down here. Alrighty. Appreciate you tuning back in again, Chris. How's your day been going today so far? Alrighty. Let's take a look at our next fight here. This will be the last trainer that's in the rain. And it is a double battle, so you do have to consider that. Yeah, this fight can be a little involved, so let's take a look here. We got a... Oh yeah, this is the double battle where one side has sturdy mons with coaching that they want to use on the other side. So let's see. Who could we use here? I think I could use either Staraptor or Alakazam. Yeah, I could have Alakazam be the one to KO both of these guys. Or even Bruxish. Bruxish could do it too. Let's see. I have a couple options here. So I could probably use... Probably Alakazam would be best, because then I could use Togedemaru. Let's see, where's that guy at? There he is. Debate slow kills on both sides. I could pre-damage debate Zen headbutt. And then random move from the other side. Unfortunately, Poliwrath is pretty fast, so I'd be baiting 2 moves. But Psychic does one-shot it. I can just go to something like Masculine Legion. Take. I would have to use. Let's see. That sounds cool, Chris. Yeah, I mean, you should definitely, if you're interested, definitely try some Nuzlocke. It's if you've never done it, it's a fun, fresh way to play some Pokemon games. Probably just recommend with some of the mainline games in case you've never done one before. So I could pre-damage, debate, Zen headbutt, and random move from Poliwrath into someone here. Unfortunately, I think Basket Legion would die to double crit. Then headbutt and plus Hydro Pump. Yeah. Could use Golisopod to do a switch. Which would then allow me to bring in something for free. Probably... Probably Excadrill? And then I could swap in... Probably... Seismitoad. Yeah, that should be good. Chris, yeah, this is a ROM hack of Pokemon Emerald called Run&Bun. It's currently considered the hardest modded version of a Pokemon game. That's why you see me using this it's this calculator here to plan out the fight. Alright, let's see. So if I pre-damage and give Togedemaru an Iron Ball, I'll beta move from Sock turn 1, Spiky Shield to break Sturdy and KO with Psychic, baiting Poliwrath, which will be baiting either Close Combat or Hydro Pump. And Zen Headbutt. So I could pre-damage Golisopod to take both of those to get a free switch. So to do that, I would have to, let's see, 207 divided by 2, so it'd have to be 102 plus minimum Zen Headbutt is 55, plus minimum Close Combat would be 35. So that'd be 192. But then if I got double crit, it's 99 max roll crits and headbutt plus 81 max roll hydro. That would be 180. So I would always live. At 192 HP. If both of those crit. So then, I'll get a free switch into Excadrill as I KO Poliwrath. Which would then be baiting Meteor Mash on the Alakazam. Which I could then just swap to I could just swap to Seismitoad. And then this would bring Ursaring, which I can KO with both Seismitoad and let's see, Earthquake, High Horsepower plus Liquidation, and then Seismitoad outspeeds and one-shots the Zebstrika with Earth Power. Yeah, this looks like it could work. Alrighty. I think this looks good. Let's formulate this. This will probably be my last fight for tonight. I don't want to do a long stream. Yeah, appreciate the sub, brother. Yeah, I see you, Chris. Appreciate you subbing and watching. Alright, so let's go ahead and form this team here. So for this we need Alakazam. We need Togedemaru. Keeping Gliscopod. We need Seismitoad. And we need Excadrill. Alright, have a good night, Chris. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good night. Hope to see you in another stream in the future. Alright, so I need... let me see. How much XP does Togedemaru have? He's about to level up. I should probably give him a quick level here. Just so he doesn't level up in between the fights. Togi needs the Iron Ball. Iron Ball to make it slower than Metagross. And I need him pre-damaged to 71 HP. Gliscopod will be at 192. Oh wait, I also... ooh. Forgot about Hydro Pump Miss. That could happen too. Should be fine. So, yeah, 192 for Gliscopod. Should always proc emergency exit. So So then I should have Alakazam at 178 HP. Alakazam's not baiting a KO from Poliwrath, so don't have to worry about that. Alright, cool. I could give a soft sand to Excadrill. What's up, Spencer? Thanks for popping in, bro. How are you doing? Favorite shiny? That's a tough one. Let's see. I really like I don't know. I mean, I have a few. The only one that comes to mind right now is Shiny Greninja, but I feel like that's a pretty basic answer. It's hard not to like that one. Yeah, I'm starting to get tired. It's all good. Yeah. Let's see. Let me give the where's that? XP share to Corviknight. And that should be it. Let's see. One ball, one soft sand, one XP share. That's a turn 1 KO. Swap KO. Turn 3. Yeah, I think this should be good. Yeah. 178, 71. Yep. Yeah, this should work. Let's go ahead and try this. This will be my last fight for the evening, and then we'll pause there for now. just triple check abilities here really quick. Clear body. Yeah, I think, yeah, we're fine. So we did that one. Next fight over here. So did I? Let's see, do I have it shared yet? Alright. This fight is a bit scary, but I think we have a good game plan for it. Just triple check everything. HPs are all correct. Iron Ball. Soft Sand. And... yeah. Alright. It should be good. Let's go ahead and execute. Let's see. Yeah. So, Coal Trainer Jennifer, Battle Girl Kaylee would like to fight as a double battle. Alrighty, so for this double battle, one side of the field, the sock, those mons have the move Coaching, which raises its partner's stats. On the other side, having strong guys like Metagross to deal a ton of damage. But right now, both the Metagross and the Sock see a fast KO into my Togedemaru. So they can't attack my Alakazam. The Sock does have Sturdy, but and I plan on KOing it with Psychic. And while that happens, I'm gonna protect using Spiky Shield, which means when the Sock deals a contact move with either Close Combat or Throat Chop, it'll get KO'd after the Sturdy proc. So that's what we're gonna do here first. So we Psychic. This will bring down to 1. It endures. Close Combat. Perfect. And so it takes itself out. And then we should see Zen Headbutt. Perfect. Alright, so Sock goes down. This brings in a Poliwrath. And this thing's pretty scary because it's got Swift Swim with Close Combat and Hydro Pump in the rain, which does tons of damage. But again, both sides only see a KO into my Togedemaru, which will allow me to freely, again, KO the Poliwrath with Psychic. And while it does that, I'm going to swap into my Golisopod, take both attacks, and then getting emergency exit to freely swap into my Excadrill. So that's what we should see go on here. So Close Combat. And then we should see Zen Headbutt. Oh, after this KOs. Poliwrath goes down. Perfect, Zen Headbutt. So, proc emergency exit. So now I can bring in my extra drill. Alright, so now it's only the Metagross side left. And now because I swapped Togedemaru out, I very slightly pre-damaged my Alakazam, so Metagross now always sees a KO on the Alakazam with Meteor Mash. So knowing that, I can swap Alakazam into my Seismitoad, who could take a Meteor Mash pretty well. And while it does that, I'm gonna attack with high horsepower, possibly killing the Metagross, but it's okay even if it doesn't. So we'll do that here. Alright, cool. We get the KO. Perfect. Alright, and now we can just bait down the line. First thing should be the Ursaring. Yep. And this thing has Toxic Orb with Quick Feet, which will double its speed if it's poisoned. Well, no, raise the speed by 50%. But on the first turn it's out, it's not active. So my Excadrill and Seismitoad can both outspeed and two-shot with combined Liquidation plus high horsepower. Alright. And then this just leaves a Zebstrika. Which, because of Swift Swim, my Seismitoad outspeeds and one-shots with Earth Power. So it won't be able to get off an attack, but in case of any weird business, I can always swap to my... Let me see, make sure I'm doing the right one here. Yeah, Earth Power. And I'll just swap to Corviknight. Earth Power, and this will always one-shot. Alright, cool. Pretty clean. We're able to come up with that line relatively quickly. It shows my experience with the game at this point. Alright, so that's all the fights that are in the rain. So now we have... a couple more items here. What are these? Watmill Berry. Blueberry. And almond berries. And then I think there is a... there is a Hearthstone somewhere here. Or a heart scale. Let's see. Was it here? Bug gem, cool. Where is this at? Items. Northwest. northwest corner. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Alright, another heart scale. Cool. So that means we have 4. Not including the ones I already used. Alright, so I think that's good enough for today. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up there. Good start to the split. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm definitely ready to head to bed now. Alright, but appreciate everyone who tuned in to watch. Feel free to like or subscribe if you want to stick around, but if not, hope everyone has a great rest of their day. I wish everyone the best, and I'll see everyone in my next stream.